Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. If it's your first time, remember to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and also leave a comment if you can. If you're returning, thank you so much for the support you've rendered to me from inception. Your support is so humbling and so overwhelming. Today, I just want to talk about Africa Freedom Day. As you are aware, Africa is celebrating what they are calling Africa Freedom Day. Is Africa indeed free? What do you think? Leave a comment in the comment section if you can, so that we get to discuss Africa's Freedom Day. So is Africa indeed free today? So I just want to bring out some things that may be of shocking to you, particularly in Zambia and other African countries in this beautiful continent. You may be aware, in the case of Zambia, it got its independence in 1964. But from 1964 to date, what is it that Zambia has that can show on the table that indeed we are free? Surely, from 1964 to date, we are still begging for donations from China. What kind of freedom is it where the Zambians are not free to work? Zambians are being put in bondage by the foreigners, so-called Chinese nationals. What kind of freedom is it that Zambia cannot even afford? A mere Zambian cannot even afford a bag of meal. What is it that we are celebrating about today? We are part of Africa, so we are also celebrating Africa Freedom Day. Surely, we have been seeing a lot of activities by the Chinese of late, a lot of scandals by the Chinese of late. And these Chinese are using Zambians like slaves. Surely, what kind of freedom are we celebrating today? It's very sad what is happening in our country, Zambia, and Africa as a whole. Because these Chinese nationals have come in every African continent, you will find them. There's no African continent where you will never find a Chinese national. Now, I want to ask this question. What is it that we are celebrating today? Or is Africa truly free? Comment down below so that we get to chit-chat together and discuss this particular topic. Now, I want to bring to a highlight in case of Zambia. You know that the biggest emerald company in Zambia is owned by a foreigner. Do you know that? And this foreigner, every time the government officials visit the copper belt, they pay homage to this foreigner who owns the biggest emerald in Zambia. In this case, Kajam mining is owned by a foreigner. And each time the ministers come to the copper belt, they pay homage to this man by clapping their hands, kneeling for the sake of getting envelopes. Who does that? This man came as a teacher, but today he has wealth like no man's business. He has accumulated wealth, but the Zambians are being used by this foreigner. Does it mean Zambians have no caliber to work? Or does it mean Zambians have no caliber to do that particular kind of work? I believe there are individuals that can do that here in Zambia. But we've chosen to empower a foreigner to an extent that even government officials bow down to him. Very sad indeed. And we are celebrating African Freedom Day. Not at all. We are never free. The only time that we'll be free is when we decide to get the independence again. A few days ago, I posted something where African countries, some of the African countries still pay about $500 billion to France because they agreed that was an agreement or it was a pact to say, when we give you independence, we want you to be giving us so much from your natural resources. And when these countries want money, they get loans, in form of loans, to France at a high interest rate. Imagine you work today, you generate money, you give someone, and then for that person to assist you, he gives you in form of a loan. Your own money, using your own resources. We need to wake up, guys. In Zambia, go to Mumbo. Go to Mumbo. It's very shocking what you will find there. Mumbo is not very far from Lusaka. You will find Chinese nationals digging gold quietly. And the locals dig for them. And government is quiet. Mumbo is just very near from Lusaka. But the Chinese nationals are busy digging and walking away with precious stones of Zambia. And these Chinese nationals are using locals like slaves. Very, very shocking indeed. And you are celebrating African Freedom Day, and our leaders have folded their hands like this, happy, enjoying what is happening. Not at all. We will never be free until we put up leaders that will take up a bold step to actually get independence again, or to revisit what transpired. This doesn't mean we are not happy with what our forefathers did, like Dr. Kenneth Kaunda. He did a great job. Julius Malema. Those leaders, they paved the way for us. But what were we supposed to do was to make things clear for each national in Africa. Let me ask you one question. Name one Zambian who is wealthy from our natural resources. Name one Zambian. If you know any Zambian who is wealthy from our national resources, natural resources, comment down below so that we get to clap for that individual. In this case, the foreigners are very wealthy than Zambians. The foreigners have accumulated wealth in our own land. But us Zambians, we are wallowing in poverty. And the Western countries are busy showing what Africa is struggling, or how Africa is struggling. In a second, I'll be able to disclose 10 African countries with the highest Chinese loans that they are yet to service. In a bit, I'll show you 10 African countries that are owing big loans to Chinese. Surely, if we are free from 1964, other countries as far as 1958, still begging for donations, still asking for donations, still getting loans. And these guys are coming to, even in our own country, treating us Zambians like slaves. Not at all, guys. Let's wake up, Africa. Let's wake up, Zambia. Or else, the next generation will be taken over by these so-called Chinese nationals. In a second, I'll show you how these African countries have actually borrowed huge sums of money from China. And I don't know how they will pay these loans. Some of these countries, I don't know how, That's why IMF can come today and dictate how we should operate. But guess what? We are the bosses in this case. We have the natural resources in this case. That's why these foreigners keep on coming. When they come, the Zambian government or African leaders, they say there are no jobs, employment levels are low. Why are these foreigners coming if there are no jobs in Zambia? It's high time that the Zambian leadership should only give work permits to foreigners if that particular job a Zambian cannot do. But you find that a foreigner comes through, a Chinese comes through, set up a garden behind the house, does all sorts of useless business. A Chinese comes, does farming, he opens up a grocery shop. Who does that? Can Zambians do that? Can't Zambians do farming? Can't Zambians do shop groceries? It's very sad. We need to give work permits to genuine investors who come and invest in real business. Not someone comes and invests in agriculture and he starts planting tomatoes, he starts planting cabbages and go and sell at Soweto Market or Sokoni Market on the Copper Belt. No, that's uncalled for. That's uncalled for. That's uncalled for. We cannot bring an investor and he comes to sell chickens. Chicken layering, even myself, I can do chicken layering and go and sell at Sokoni Market or Soweto Market in Lusaka. But what is happening? The Chinese are doing these businesses. Let me just show you how much some of these African countries, 10 of them are actually, how much they are owing China in terms of the loans. 10 African countries. I'll start with the highest or the least. That is on number 10. On number 10, we have DR Congo. DR Congo owes about $3.4 billion of loans to China. And China is actually the most beneficiary of Congo's natural resources. Imagine, China is the one that has huge chunk of Congo's natural resources and not the DR Congo citizens. This is a country with the most natural resources in Africa, DR Congo, if you never knew. But guess what? The Chinese nationals are the ones that are benefiting more to it. Let's wake up. On number 9, we have Ghana. Ghana has about estimated $3.5 billion to China. Quickly, on number 8, we have Nigeria. Nigeria has about estimated $4.8 billion. Nigeria, a country rich in oil, has such kind of a loan to China. On number 7, we have Cameroon. Cameroon has about $5.5 billion of Chinese loans. On number 6, we have our very own Zambia, who has about $6 billion in Chinese loans. All these loans, they come, but we do not see development. Why? On number 5, we have Sudan. Sudan has about $6.4 billion in terms of loans that it has gotten from China. On number 4, we have Republic of Congo, sitting on $7.3 billion loans. On number 3, we have Kenya. Kenya has about $7.9 billion. All these countries are enriching China, not enriching themselves. On number 2, we have Ethiopia, sitting on $13.5 billion. Number 1 is actually Angola, sitting on $25 billion, the highest country in Africa with the most loans from China. Now, when you look at all these loans that African countries are getting, are we able to trace development? Can you point out, in the case of Zambia, we owe about $6 billion of loans. But how is our development? Just building a simple road, it takes years. But every single year, we keep on borrowing money. Guys, let me know what you think about Africa's freedom. Comment down below. Comment down below so that we get to chat over this case. Is Africa indeed free? It's not free. In my opinion, Africa is not free. So thank you so much for actually watching this particular video. Remember to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. To those that have already subscribed, comment down below. Let me hear your opinion concerning Africa's Freedom Day. Remember, the theme is silencing guns, creating conducive Africa for development. So see you next time with another interesting topic. Bye-bye.